out there here locally in the community. Make sure y'all go check out Kneecap Body by Jeremy Jones.
That's right, everybody. It is Kneecap Boyton with the Motor City Lions, and it is the NFL Roundtable Talks. I've got a couple comments in here, and then we'll get into the topics. James Reyes says, about time someone that said this out loud. I would not trade Laporta for Kelsey, not even for Kelsey in a day 2 pick. Amen. He also says, also conveys mean God loves us and wants us to behave happy. Quinn Cook says, hey, JB. And Brian Three Cushion says, hey, guys. And it's time for me to get into this chat and figure out the topics again because I just sent them out not too long ago to somebody. There they go. All right. Trevor Lawrence gets a high ankle sprain. And I've heard they're already rehabbing him to try and get him back on the field, taping it up and using him limited in practice with no contact, the red jersey, the whole 9 yards. How stupid will they be if they let Trevor Lawrence play on that ankle this weekend?
I wouldn't against the Browns.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, if they were playing the Panthers or maybe the Jaguars.
Maybe.
They are the Jaguars.
Or the Cardinals, any one of those three, I would let them play. But with it being the Browns and Myles Garrett's expected to be back this week, no.
That's two games.
No.
They're in a playoff spot right now where they're positioned. Not worth risking that with putting him in there for no reason.
What do you think, Shannon?
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I wouldn't put him in there against the Browns defense anyway.
Keegan?
I wouldn't.
I'm gonna say is no. You're going against the Browns. You have to trust in your defense if you're going against the Browns with a quarterback hurt. So Browns without a quarterback, you have at least 70% chance of winning that because of the defense. So I would sit him this week, let him heal up, and let him play next week.
Right. Jordan?
He should sit out. The Browns also have a backup quarterback too, so.
Right. But we saw what the backup quarterback did against them last week from Cincinnati. Jake Browning looked like the second coming of touchdown Jesus. Holy crap. Talk about a debut. But Dad hopped in and said, hey, holy crap, nice full house, gentlemen. So is Bugs done in Detroit? Or Bugs is only out for 4 weeks. It's a 4-week IR that they put him on. So that means he could be back by week 18.
I'm going to go back. I'm going to say that I think with him being in trouble with coaching staff, I figured he's probably out after this year.
Absolutely, Quinn, don't play him. If Garrett smacks him the wrong way, boom, he will need surgery. I think Bugs might get on the field due to the Aleem McNeil injury. I'm sorry, I was thinking of McNeil, not Bugs. I think Bugs might actually get to play the field because the guy we just signed is not going to be at game speed, which we're going to talk about just in a minute. Also, you can't trust Burrito Jones to play the DT1. You might be better off with Bugs. Maybe we'll actually get to see Martin hit the field. The guy I hope they leave as a healthy scratch is Levi on Wuzariki because that guy is a bum.
Is he even back yet? He
was a healthy scratch last week.
Oh, wow.
He's been a healthy scratch the last 3 weeks.
Oh,
That being said, I agree. I would sit Trevor Lawrence this week. But Bugs is probably done in Detroit after this season, no matter what.
mm-hmm.
Multiple players signed to different teams, and I forgot to mention this name, but Shaquille Leonard went to the Philadelphia Eagles. The rich get richer again. Mason Crosby was signed to the practice squad for the Rams. And Tyson Alualu to the Detroit Lions, former top 10 pick for the Jaguars 12 years ago. He hasn't gotten a lot of sacks. He's only gotten 25 in his career, but he can collapse the pocket when necessary. He's a solid but not a great player. He's a nice rotational piece, but I think he's another vet presence on that D line for the interior part of the D line, like Bruce Irvin is to the outside. What do you guys think of these signings, Dan?
I didn't even know about the Eagles freaking signing Leonard. That one really hurts. I hate them so much. I want to know like how they got into the Illuminati, who they sacrificed, so on and so forth. Because there's no way that they could have all these superstar players and still keep them all under the cap somehow.
Well, you have to remember there's that crazy rule that's in the CBA, and we've talked about it in the offseason. If you are a playoff team, the owner can elect to use part of his profits as salary cap. That's the cash over cap rule, which means they can, most teams only use an average of 3%. There was one year where one team went way over it, and they're still paying the repercussions of it. And that is the New Orleans Saints and how they bought their Super Bowl that year. They have been kicking the can down the road ever since, and they will continue to have to do so. LA Rams kind of did it. That's why they've been kind of hampered with the cap.
Mm-hmm.
So,
absolutely.
Those teams, San Francisco, it's why they still have $47 million in cap, because they were very smart how they did it. They bought players in that cash over cap rule, but they bought them for a year and let them walk. They didn't give them a whole bunch of guaranteed salary, which equaled dead cap, to get rid of them.
Well, it also helps when you draft well.
Yeah, and you draft well. And right now, what is it? 80% of their roster, like the Lions, is on rookie contract, so it's non-negotiable. You can't do anything about it. They've got very few stars that have been paid.
Yeah, because like even like Philly, Devontae Smith is a rookie contract. Jalen Hurts' contract don't kick in yet.
Isn't A.J. Brown in the last year of his rookie contract?
No.
Oh, they re-signed him.
They did re-sign him. Okay.
No, he's on the first year of his extension.
New contract, right?
He got 60 over 4.
Right, which isn't horrible for what he is.
But really,
that's actually really good.
The only guys Philly's really paying is the two linemen, Kelsey and Johnson. Mm-hmm. They're paying AJ Brown, Darius Slay, and Hassan Reddick. Everybody else is cheaper or on the rookie deals.
I mean, even Fletcher Cox, he took like a very team-friendly deal to be there.
Because like those two young linemen are both on either rookie or second year deals. So Carter and Jordan Davis
and Brandon Graham, he's the other one that's kind of on an expensive contract, if I remember right. He's at the last year of that expensive contract.
Yeah, like $60 million.
All right, and also Kenyon Drake goes to the Packers, so they added another fast, injury-prone guy to their roster, kind of like James Robinson.
But he got released off the practice squad.
James Robinson did?
Yeah.
Oh, because he played last week.
He played for Green Bay?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
They released him and then signed Drake.
Okay, so they released one fast injury-prone guy and picked up another. Good for them.
Well, hell, look at the Jets today. They freaking they cut Tim Boyle and they signed some D-bag off the Saints practice squad to be their quarterback now.
What was the name? It wasn't Eric Barriere, was it?
No.
Okay.
And the Steelers signed freaking Trace McSorley.
He's the backup.
Yeah. Well, that's because they got Mitch Trubisky and Mason Crosby, and they can carry 3 active on the roster while Pickett's hurt.
Mason Crosby? You mean Mason Rudolph?
Or Mason Rudolph, Crosby.
Rudolph.
Mason
It doesn't
Char,
matter.
whatever you want to call him. He's
So
garbage
Mason Crosby is the freaking
kicker that the Rams just signed to the practice
Yeah.
squad. That's right.
Yeah, he was Green Bay for a long time, but yeah.
And James Burris says the former Pitt DT was an excellent versus run and an assistant man versus pass. I'll take it.
Oh, I found who the Jets picked up. They picked up Brett Ripien.
I fear
No,
Kenyon Drake like I fear additional Coney to exit American Coney at Lafayette in Michigan. I don't fear additional Conies, though I occasionally regret them. Oh, yeah, our schedule may be rough next year, Braylon Dennis, but the thing is, we have 73.6 million in cap room. 18 million is all that is required to sign your draft picks. That's every pick, no matter how many you have. 18 million is the cap hit year one.
Yeah.
So because that's in the CBA. So that being said, that leaves 55 million for free agency.
And plus the money that's off the books of the guys that are becoming free agents too.
No, that's with that.
That is.
I'm looking at next year's cap room
Yeah.
after without re-signing anyone. It's 73.6.
Yeah, that's all included in your free agency money. Like
Right.
your own free agents, and then the other team, like your own free agents. Like so, whoever signed under contract, they won't count against them, but it'll
So,
be your current free agent.
And truthfully, it's anybody who is drafted with Jonah Jackson in 2020 are the only ones we have to re-sign this year if we want them.
Well, what's going to mess you guys up here saying this? As much as Lions fans need a Super Bowl win, I think that would be the worst thing that happens to your franchise if it happens this year.
Right. I just looked it up this morning.
Re-sign Goff to that big money.
Yeah,
deal.
okay, he's still in the USFL. Okay, Eric Barrier.
Well, because if they win the Super Bowl, they're going to give Jared Goff an extension.
Exactly. It's going to be he's going to get that bag, and then that $50 million you have there realistically turns into what, like
25?
Not even, because he's going to want over 45 a year if he wins the Super Bowl. He's going to want closer to 50.
Yeah.
And rightfully so at that point, because you know what? That's what the top guys are getting.
Okay, I'm looking at cap room for next year again right now.
I think the Bears are like on top. Tennessee has a lot.
My team would have had a lot if we didn't re-sign freaking Glass Joe.
God damn it.
Well, they can get out of the contract.
They can, but after next year, they can get out of the contract.
Because I think they're going to.
2024 team cap space is $73,691,231.
So 73 mil.
Total money for draft picks is 18.5, which puts us at 55 million.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So re-signing Goff makes or breaks your entire offseason.
Will Vogel says, hi, Jeremy, and everyone. See y'all next week. The aging process sucks, but it beats the alternative, is what my dad says, and you're so true. I always say seeing another day is always better than not. On a side note, Amon-Ra is entering his final year, might justifiably want an extension, but there are guys who could go off the book, saving some cap with dead hit until 2025. Yep, got to start thinking about. Yeah, I know we do. But we can work on it any time throughout the season next year. You don't have to do it before the season starts because it's an extension. The rookie cap doesn't change. So that extension doesn't matter really in that season because he's in the fourth year. So you got all season to come up with that. That way you don't have to do it at the last minute in the free agency period for re-signing your team players. And I think that's what they'll do is they'll work on it in season rather than waiting till the next off season to do it. And everybody says Super Bowl, not with this defense. Now, if it's the defense that played the first quarter versus the Saints, that defense, Sewell can get his fifth-year option, and then you can wait another year to work on his extension too. So, and they more than likely will pick up his 5th-year option because they'd be stupid not to, because he's going to get top tackle money. So
Yep.
I could see them giving him that 5th-year option, and that keeps him in that $11.5 to $12 million range versus the 15 to 20. That's smart business. You do it there and then you negotiate it. You know, everybody is worried about the future. Let's worry about right now, because right now we only had 2.8 million in cap room. That's why we're making these cheap signings. We weren't a playoff team. There is no cash over cap rule for the Detroit Lions. And unless you're restructuring Decker, Goff, and Ragnow in the first year of their contract, of his extension contract, or is this his 5th year? No, this is his 5th year, right? For Ragnow?
You cut out for a bit, JB.
I think so.
Yeah, this is Ragnow's 5th year. So all you got is Decker. Vitai's already been restructured down. You know, so you can't really do anything this year. You're strapped. Decker's in the first year of getting paid. I don't think he's taking a pay cut. Goff is trying to get a bag. He's not taking a pay cut.
Mm-mm.
Because if Goff wasn't trying to get a bag, everybody, think about this. The deal would have been done at either one of the last 2 contract talks discussions they had.
Correct.
Because if he was accepting anything in between 31 and 35 million, that deal would have been done already.
Yeah.
It's also been rumored to be who's rumored it? I'm talking about if Aaron Glenn calls the defense the way he did at the beginning of that Saints game for every game, we won't have an issue on defense. He changed his play calling from the second quarter on. That first quarter, we looked every bit as good as a San Francisco 49ers defense, every bit as good as a Philly defense or the Dallas defense for that quarter. He changed his play calling.
Matter of fact, we held them to 0 points in the first quarter.
I know.
We had a 21-0 lead. Defense.
Right. But if you play that type of defense for an entire game, you're only going to give up 14 to 20 points for the entire game.
Yeah.
Versus giving up 28 points over 3 quarters. Goff, you're right. He's either a super cheap, really effing good quarterback next year, or we get a couple high picks and see what Hendon can really do. I've agreed with that. And as far as Lions news, the one thing I heard is they're using Hendon Hooker like Justin Fields for the practicing. That way they can work on tackling a mobile quarterback. And you can say that's kind of stupid. I actually think it's really brilliant, because what is the one thing this defense has struggled with? Mobile quarterbacks. Running quarterbacks, to be exact. Not exactly mobile, because Patrick Mahomes only got a total of 43 yards on us. Desmond Ridder only got like 25. Geno Smith got like 30.
How many did Lamar Jackson get?
He only got 22.
Yeah, there you go.
But they're not using Lamar Jackson like they used to.
No.
Yeah.
He's only been rushing at most. I think the most I've seen him rush this year is 80 yards. But they were all because they were in the red zone and they were RPOs to get touchdowns. So Lamar Jackson does not look like the running quarterback everybody thought he does. He looks like a quarterback that can run this year, which is what I said was my only knock on him throughout his career. And it had to be Greg Roman was the problem. He wasn't developing him as a pocket quarterback. Todd Munchin comes in, and this guy looks like, now he looks like Randall Cunningham.
Yeah, he does. Unfortunately for my boys.
Yeah, unfortunately for all the AFC North. And, man, it looks bad for the Bengals when they had that picture of Burrow walking off the bus there when they were away in that game, and he had that wrist brace on, and then he
I
turns
think
around and gets it injured. That's not a good look. And the fact he was wearing it in a sling makes me think it's his shoulder, because if it's just your wrist, you don't have to wear a sling. Do you see what I'm saying there?
yeah. Oh, I
I don't
agree.
think they're reporting the whole injury. I think he had something with his throwing shoulder too, and
I
they're
think
just the
elbow,
wrist
honest.
or his elbow or something. There's
Yeah, I
something
mean,
else going on, because they
Yeah.
immediately said they shut him down for the year. Remember, they
yeah.
immediately shut him down for the year. So there's something else going on than just a wrist.
Yeah,
I really like Goff, but the only thing off radar stuff I am hearing is that he's looking for high end cash, which is fine. I'm a capitalist. I would not give him more than 14.5% of my cap. And I actually said the number is 18.2%. And I came up with that number by averaging out every Super Bowl winning quarterback. Because guess what every Super Bowl winning quarterback was other than John Matthew Stafford
On a rookie contract.
or Tom Brady on a less than market value deal?
Well, Eli wasn't on his rookie contract, but he took a less than market value deal too.
Right, exactly. Or a less than market value deal. I mean, because you remember, Eli's second contract wasn't that big. His
No.
third contract was the one that hurt y'all.
Yeah, but even that, then he kept restructuring it for him.
Right, which is fine. Because smart QBs know, man, if I'm making this much money, we can't keep a team together. Because
Yeah.
isn't that what Pat Mahomes said this year already? He's
Yeah,
willing to
well-
restructure his deal because he wants to keep the team together. But at 33 years old, and Kelsey's play is already degraded from what it was last year.
Yep.
I think both brothers may retire this year. And I'm sorry, if I was doing Taylor Swift, I'd retire too.
Eh,
Or
That
shake
kind of
it
money.
off and then retire.
I think that's part of the problem. He got too much Swift on his mind.
Yeah. He wasn't that bad before a woman come into his life.
18% is the number. But I think Goff needs more supplemental help than high-end guys, which is why I go under so I can afford Panay, Rags, Laporta. Well, Rags is under contract till 2027, if I remember right, maybe 2028. Panay, he should get a lifetime contract. We should just sign him to a 7-year deal and get him done. Because that's usually the max of most contracts. You usually see 7. Pat Mahomes is the exception to the
10.
rule. He got a 10-year deal.
Yeah.
But when you win a Super Bowl in your rookie contract, you get that type of deal.
You know
Well,
what?
and you throw 50 touchdowns the first year you ever start.
Right.
That too. Even though his contract, you look at that, he signed a 10-year, $500 million contract. What's that really break out to? Like 50
I
million?
mean,
Top quarterback.
He did it as a front-loaded contract too. If you look at it, it's really high through the first few years, and then in the middle years it's not so bad, and at the end it's almost nothing.
Yep. Which works out for them though.
Yeah, Panay gets a big check with a sign here and make your demands later clause. I don't think anybody's going to hold out on this team because everybody, and when I say everybody on this team that we have drafted has said the same things. They love this team. They want to play here forever. Guys that say that, and we haven't heard this in Lions history.
I was going to say ever.
Jackson go.
We never hear that. Calvin Johnson got his bag and then said, fuck you guys, I'm going to take my toys and go home. Barry Sanders, because we hired Bobby Ross and he was an idiot, that's why he retired when he did. Because he said, fine, if you don't want to play me, but as a third down back, trade me. He said, no. He goes, fine, I'm just not coming.
JB, here in the comments there, Brent DeWitt says he's worried that you guys are going to lose Jonah Jackson. Would that really be the worst thing that happens?
With what has happened with Jonah health-wise this year, and he hasn't had those injuries throughout his career. But as the players get older and injuries start to creep up more, that's a trend that it may start to happen more. So it's costing him dollars already. Yes, he was a Pro Bowl guard last year, but the Pro Bowl's a fan vote. He wasn't an All-Pro. All-Pro are the ones that deserve top money. Pro Bowlers, it's kind of like, God, what can I say it would be? Being voted for a commissioner job that isn't voted on in an election.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it's like. Assistant to the drain commissioner. You don't vote on that position, but it gets voted in by the people that work at the drain commission.
Mm-hmm.
Bobby Ross hiring changed a lot of NFL history. Absolutely. And what's crazy is, as much as we hated him as a GM, I think he'd have been a much better head coach. Barry Sanders lobbied to William Clay Ford Sr. and Jr. that he wanted Matt Millen as his head coach the year we hired Bobby Ross. And Matt Millen is a football mind. He's just not a GM.
Yep.
And Brian Roy says Ross was a joke. You're absolutely right.
Mm-hmm.
And it came down to it when we went 1-5, and he said, "Fuck this shit, I quit." The guy takes over, and we make the playoffs.
Something like that.
I don't get it. That being said, back to where I did.
Huh.
So, and Mitch Trubisky came out and says he wants to be aggressive versus the Patriots. All I'm going to ask, does anybody blame him for feeling that way? I'll
No.
start with you, Jordan.
Oh, well, they're going to win anyway. You can be aggressive. He can be aggressive. He could be not aggressive. They're going to win. The Patriots can't score. So
Right.
just hand the ball to Najee Harris and get out of there.
Right now, Najee is questionable.
Yeah,
All
I
right,
think
well,
it'll be.
Jared Lamore, the better running back then. There
Yeah.
we go.
Somebody just said in one of my chats that I'm in, and I just happened to see the message that said, "My cash app is I am coming in hot."
Wow.
That's the funniest one I've seen yet. What do you think about that, Shannon? Do you blame him?
No, I mean, like one of my buddy down here on the bottom. I don't think it matters how he comes in, aggressive, non-aggressive, asleep. The way the Patriots have played this year, I think I could probably beat the Patriots this year as a quarterback for any of the teams, that even like the probably Carolina Panthers.
I don't know. I think they could beat the Panthers. That's about it.
I don't know. We can't score.
That's why I said
Neither
that.
can they.
Yeah, but we just lost to fucking Tommy DeVito.
Hey. You leave Tommy
Hey.
Cummings alone.
You leave Danny DeVito alone. The Penguin was a good character in that Batman movie.
The man lives in his freaking mom's basement, and we lost to him.
Hey, you know what? How expensive it is to live in New Jersey?
Yeah,
And then
he does have a point. Keegan, what do you think about it?
You know what? I'm going to say I could beat the Patriots in Madden. Patriots right now with the Panthers and Madden. Not saying something, but I think every quarterback wants to go into a game and play and start off hot. But this Steelers versus Patriots, it doesn't even really matter.
It kind of does, though, because the Steelers are still in playoff contention.
Yeah, they need to win this game for sure.
They sure do.
Especially
All right,
with their upcoming schedule.
What do you think about what Mitch Trubisky said?
I'm down with it. It's 100%. They suck. Come out aggressive, put up some damn points, and don't screw around.
Absolutely. I think Mitch Trubisky is going to turn the Patriots into what it was when he was with the Bears versus the Detroit Lions. He's going to put up 300 yards and 4 touchdowns like he did every game versus the Lions.
As long as they're all to George Pickens, I don't care.
Facts, because he's my flex this week. But anyways. Trubisky is not ass. Trubisky got stuck with bad coordinators and bad coaching.
Then once he went to the Bills, they kind of unlocked him a little bit. And now he's just.
I don't know why everybody says he unlocked him. When he was with the Bears, they never had a losing season.
Bills.
No, I said when he was with the Bears, he never had a losing season.
Yeah.
His worst year was 10-6.
He was a double doink away from winning the playoff game.
Yep.
Yeah.
That was on Cody Parkey. And that bum-ass defense not stopping the other team to get it to that point.
He took the blame on a lot of the stuff when they never developed him. At least when he went into Buffalo there, you had freaking the ball at freaking offensive coordinator, and you had Ken Dorsey out there at the same time as the quarterback's coach, who both of them were able to develop a quarterback.
Right.
So he looked good there. He went to Pittsburgh, and now they don't have any of that there. They don't.
And before I get into the
Matt Canada.
No, they fired Matt Canada.
Yeah.
I'm saying they did have Matt Canada.
Matt Canada, dude.
Oh, come on. You all know that Matt Canada is just Matt Nagy in a Scooby-Doo mask.
Yeah.
No, he's really Matt Patricia.
No, he isn't even that bad.
He's a skinny Matt Patricia.
No, I don't think he's that bad myself.
Matt Patricia, the smartest man to ever coach in the NFL.
Hey, he got paid by the Lions until last year. He goes to the Philly this year as the assistant defensive coordinator. Is it any reason why people are questioning the Philly defense?
Because they're not getting the sacks like they were last year.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But they've also had freaking injuries out there.
Yeah.
Well,
Next man up. That's what they tell us when we got injuries.
Last year, did they have like Gannon or the head coach from Arizona?
Yes.
Matt Canada equals Matt Patricia equals Matt Nagy. You forgot to add one.
Those coordinators really helped Eagles.
Who, Matt LaFleur?
Losing those two hurt them this year, and they panicked and picked up Patricia.
Well, anyways, one more bit of news that came out today is Aaron Rodgers backed the Jets wanting to start Zach Wilson again.
Oh.
What?
Did you see what Zach Wilson said?
Behind this O-line, why the fuck would I want to go out there? That's what he said. No.
That's what he should have said.
He pretty much said he don't want to play.
Right. He said he don't want to play. I read into it what I thought he was saying. Behind this O-line, fuck you. I'd rather ride the pine.
I think it was more along the lines of, you guys fucking keep disrespecting me and fucking around with me. Why the hell should I come in there to help you guys?
So,
yeah.
That being said, it is now. Didn't they say Zach was reluctant? Yeah, and I just gave his speech on why. Behind this O-line, fuck you. I'm sitting right here. No, I'm not going to do it.
Yeah, freaking Salah trying to say it's absolutely untrue, but we know none of us believe that shit.
But it is time for our favorite part of the show. It's the Pick Ems.
Yeah.
Thursday night, we got the Patriots at the Squealers. Raise your hand if you're taking the Patriots.
No, Steelers 2-0 in overtime.
Overtime, yes.
I like that.
Thank you, Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Jeff Bezos has to be ready to hang himself with these these Thursday night games by now. He paid $78 million a game on an average over this 10-year career he bought for Thursday night. And I think he's had 4 good matchups in the first 2 years so far.
But
it's just like London. Every time there's a game in London, it's shitty.
This is true.
Yeah, but he makes a killing.
Ask Breece Hall what he likes about that O-line. Crickets. Braylon Dennis says Steelers win 14-3. Brett DeWitt says 8-3. I think you guys are overestimating the New England offense. But anyways.
Yeah, the Patriots are already made history once. They're going to add to that. They're actually the first team in NFL history last week. They gave up 10 points or less in 3 straight games and go 0-3. First team ever.
Yeah, and as bad as we hated the Lions with Matt Patricia, we were never that bad.
Yeah, we're historically that offense. Like it's pretty bad.
Tampa Bay travels to Atlanta. Atlanta is still only got one loss at home with Desmond Ridder starting, and he's starting again this week. Who wins? Leonard?
It sucks so much. But I'm going to go with Tampa Bay because they're fighting for a playoff spot.
Amen. Shannon?
Yeah, I'll go Tampa as well.
Jordan?
I'm gonna go with Tampa.
Keegan?
2017.
Ooh, 20-17. He gave a score. Who you got,
Tampa.
Keegan? You got Tampa? I chose Tampa too because they're all tied. Well, except for the Saints, who we knocked out of
No, Panthers. Panthers.
Panthers.
Well, I'm talking about the three that can have a chance at
Oh,
winning the
yeah.
division.
Yeah.
I don't ever put Carolina in that discussion.
Hey, actually,
Carolina is the new who was that really, really bad team for a long time?
The
Oh no,
Lions.
it's still Carolina.
They're Patriots of the NFC.
Yeah, there you go.
one bit of news is that Carolina has now been eliminated from the playoffs.
Okay, let's see. We got Drake London, who's a great wide receiver as long as you don't put him in the top 10. He's probably in that 11 to 20 range. I would have him there. Wouldn't you agree with that, guys?
Drake London?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think he's that.
I think
I don't think
he had a quarterback. I think it'd be different. I think he'd be much higher.
Okay. Well, anyway, so you got Drake London. You got Kyle Pitts, who has that allergy where you can only score one touchdown every 22 games. The same one that Julio Jones has. So,
funny thing is, Philly hasn't even been using him, have they?
yeah, he's had a touchdown there, and it averages out in the last 3 years since he's left the Falcons. He's had one touchdown every 8 games for Julio Jones.
See, I didn't even know he's played there because I haven't heard about him.
Because he played the Titans, and then he went to Philly this year.
Yeah.
And he caught a touchdown pass, I think, a week ago or 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago.
Damn. But anyways, I took Tampa Bay because I just think they have the better roster overall and the better defense.
Uh-huh.
All right. Indianapolis at the Cincinnati Bengals. And Jake Browning looking like touchdown Jesus. Who you got there, Dan Leonard?
I'm going to go with Indy because I don't think there's any way in hell Jake Browning can do it again.
All right. Who you got, Keegan?
I'm going to take the Bengals.
Jordan?
20-19 Cincinnati.
Shannon, who you got?
I'll take what Jordan said. And, I mean, they're in Cincy, so, I mean,
and
they've got a lot to play for, even though, you know.
You guys are still trying to play for a playoff spot, right? I mean, you guys aren't out of it yet.
Exactly.
So, and
the
Indy's
Bengals
also
actually
playing to try to get the South now that Jaguars are banged up.
Yeah.
But I'm taking, as much as I hate to say it, I'm taking Cincinnati. I like what I see out of Jake Browning. Until I see him fail, I like him better than Gardner Minshew.
So
that's it's another game of backup quarterback.
Here's the thing, though. Look at Brown's first start was only like 16.
I think that's what helped him out.
Oh, let me hear what Leonard was trying to say there.
That was Browning's second time playing this year. The first game was pretty horrid. It was not good at all.
Yeah, but it was also against Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
And Pittsburgh has one of that.
Wasn't it?
No, it was in Cincinnati.
Oh.
It was.
But Pittsburgh has a top 5 defense statistically this year.
So most of the people in the chat are going with the Bengals, except for Braylon Dennis. He yells, it's a toss-up too. I'll go Indy as well. All right. On to the next. Speaking of Crapsonville, because they've been doing Craftsonville things lately. We got Jacksonville versus Cleveland. Battle of the backup QBs again. This is back-to-back backup QB matchups. No, hell, it's backup QB matchup to start the week.
Yeah, exactly.
Bailey Zappi versus Mitch Trubisky.
That's the funny thing. All 3 games well, no, I guess not. Atlanta doesn't have a backup, or Carolina or
In
Tampa.
Tampa, they got starters.
But those 3 of the 4 games have had backup quarterbacks in both, technically, so far.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Brian Roy says Jacksonville. Braylon Dennis says Cleveland by a touchdown. Jags. Cleveland. Joe Flaccid waits till a 2-score lead to go limp. Joe Flaccid.
Is Flacco
Damn.
starting?
Yeah, Flacco's starting.
Ooh, that
Is
might
he
make
really starting? I thought I read somewhere
that might make me take the Browns.
Who you got, Leonard?
I'm taking the Browns.
Taking the Browns. Shannon?
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm taking the Browns.
Well,
Keegan?
I'm taking the Jags. I think this is going to be a battle of the running game, and ETN's going to go off.
Well, ETN is very good. I like him a lot. I'll take this into account. Cam Robinson, starting left tackle for the Jaguars, is on IR for the season. Myles Garrett and that Cleveland defense is nasty as hell.
Mm-hmm.
Where's this game at? In Jacksonville or Cleveland?
In Cleveland.
Then I'm taking the Jaguars because you know what? Jaguars are undefeated on the road this year. I don't know if you guys knew that.
They are. Yeah,
they're
they
two
are.
and they're 2-4 at home, but they're like 5-0 on the road or whatever.
Well, they won 9 games, so they had to be 4-4 on the road, and they're at home.
No, they're 2-4 at home.
2-4 at
this
home.
Year. Yeah,
so that means they're 7-0 on the road.
Yeah, so they're really good on the road. That's what I said. That's why I'm taking the Jaguars. It's gonna be an ugly game.
No, didn't they lose to Houston in Houston, or did they come back and win it at the end?
They lost to Houston by 20 on the road the first time, or a hold the first time, and they just beat Houston. The missed field goal was
they came back and won it, is what I'm saying, because
Houston missed that. Remember Houston missed that field goal that hit the upright.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, at the half, Houston was winning, and it was like they were being boat raced. They were being boat raced.
They were.
Yeah, because I know there was a close game.
It technically was a comeback win with a field goal loss, is what I'm saying. Field goal miss loss.
Yeah, because the first time Houston beat them in Jacksonville by like 20, they whooped them.
Oh, okay. Carolina at Saints. It's Bryce Young versus all 3 backups that they have in New Orleans. Who you taking? Anybody taking the Panthers to win a game?
Hey, JB, you skipped over yourself.
Oh, I took Jacksonville.
I'm taking the Carolina Panthers for my sake, because I need the number 1 overall pick. So, go Panthers.
I took Saints. Saints are going to have a...
Is anybody taking the Panthers? Oh, Jordan took the Panthers. Is anybody else taking the Panthers?
No, the rest of us have brains. Sorry, Jordan. Dude, you know what, though, man? Even if you guys get the number 1 overall pick, you're going to do something stupid and take, like, Bo Nix.
No, well, I think I like
Spencer Rattler. I'm sorry. That's a Patriot pick.
Well, and the news is out. Caleb Williams is declaring for the draft. He's sitting out the bowl.
I hope we don't take him either. I hope we have freaking Drake May, or if we don't get Drake May, then I want
Michael
Marvin
Penix.
Harrison.
Then you want Michael Penix.
But I don't. Not top 5.
By the time you guys pick, Marvin Harrison will be gone.
Or JJ McCarthy.
We have the 2nd pick right now, so it depends what. Right now, it would depend what Chicago does. If Chicago stays with Fields, we're going to get Drake May. If Chicago goes with a quarterback, we'll get Harrison.
Yep. James Burgess says, Saints, I want Carolina defense in fantasy because Jameis is a fantasy godsend for defenses.
Yeah, but Carr practiced today.
Who did? Carr?
Yep.
I still wouldn't start him myself, but I'm still taking the Saints. But
after that hit he took from Irvin, I think Carr is not going to be the same.
So we got Houston Texans traveling to the New York Jets, who have been beat at home. Who you got, Keegan?
I think Well, now that Tank Dell is hurt out for the season, I think Jets are gonna come in and get that win.
Somebody thought that last week.
Don't forget about Nico Collins, who just
And
went off for
Nico Collins
200.
had 12 targets with 9 catches, 166 yards, and 2 touchdowns. I should know. I had him in fantasy.
Yeah.
They still got Robert Woods. They got John Mechie, who's healthy. They got 2 tight ends that can play.
And they actually got the running game going with Damian Pierce last game.
Yeah, but they're going against a Jets defense.
Yeah.
Everybody forgets you can practice and still be in concussion protocol.
And they also got Tim Boyle at quarterback. So what's that tell you?
Zach Wilson started. They cut Tim Boyle.
Oh, well, they still got Zach Wilson and Tim Boyle 2.0. So.
And have a shitty ass offensive line, and Will Anderson's been a beast the past few weeks.
Yeah, he has been. So who you taking, Shannon?
I'll go against the Jets just because I've never been a Jets fan. So whoever plays the Jets.
Leonard?
Oh, I am absolutely going with the only quarterback from Ohio State that's ever been worth a damn in his life, C.J. Stroud and the Texans.
Thank God C.J. Stroud was developed in high school and Ryan Day didn't ruin him.
Yes.
Yeah.
17-9 Texans.
I'm thinking more like 35-2.
It's gonna score. Dude, the Jets defense isn't what it was.
It's good, but it's not great.
The Jets will probably will score like a weird number, like 8 or something, though. Like you said, they scored 2. They might find a way to score like 8.
Is C.J. Stroud the exception that proves the rule? All right. I took Houston as well. Like I said, I expect a blowout. I just think they're too good offensively for the Jets to stop. L.A. Rams at Baltimore. Speaking of which, Matt Stafford, traveling to the East Coast with the Rams, has yet to win a game.
Right.
So I think we're all picking Baltimore, man.
Yeah.
Anybody taking the Rams?
27-10 Baltimore.
Baltimore's probably the best defense in the league, too.
Yep. But the number 1 ranked team in the NFL right now is who? The
49ers?
Miami Dolphins.
Oh, Miami Dolphins?
Yep.
Shit.
Yeah, they are.
Dude, they could just put up so many goddamn points in so many different ways.
Ooh, Brian Roy's taking L.A.
Ryan Roy's on drugs.
Baltimore, because Baltimore and also Baltimore by James Burgess.
I will say the Rams did beat Cleveland pretty bad. I know they're not.
He says he's joking. I don't see how Matt Stafford and the Rams can beat that defense. That's all I got to say.
The Rams were able to beat the Browns because the Browns couldn't do shit on offense.
Right. All right. Minnesota is going to leave Las Vegas as what? A winner or loser? Leonard.
Winner. I don't trust that Vegas anymore.
Well, remember, they don't have Josh McDaniels.
Yeah, it's true.
They got your boy from the Giants, former linebacker.
I love Antonio Pierce.
Mm-hmm.
But still, what do they have? They got Aiden O'Connell at quarterback there because Garoppolo still isn't playing.
Yeah, but you got Jaron Hall, who's only played a quarter.
I was about to say, I think Jaron Hall started.
No,
yeah.
I read today that Dobbs is starting.
Yeah.
Dobbs is starting? Oh, then they're definitely losing.
Man, I think he's
that guy, the Pastronaut has PTSD. His lunar module has crashed.
It looked pretty bad the last time he started.
Yeah, versus he made the Bears defense look good.
Yeah, and I mean I'm a Vols fan, so I mean that tells you right there.
I went Vegas. Who you got, Keegan?
I went with the Vikings. What I'm hearing is that Jefferson is back.
Yep.
Don't care. Jordan?
Don't matter if Jefferson's back if Josh Dobbs or whoever's at quarterback's laying on the ground because Max Crosby sacked him 5 times.
Yeah.
So I'm going 17-13 Raiders.
We got an even split in the chat so far. waiting to see if Braylon Dennis does the deciding factor because I got Vikings, Raiders, Vegas, Vikes.
When
That
we're doing,
being
I have a comment I want to make too, GB.
okay.
I've been waiting.
Go ahead.
Oh, I can make it now? Cool. When Keegan said that Carr won't be the same after that hit he took from Bruce Irving, that hit really wasn't even shit, man. This is just a no-fun league now.
Right.
The hits from 5-10 years ago are so much more violent that you would look at that hit and be like, oh, get up and walk it off, pussy.
Watch any hit by Ronnie Lott, Ed Reed, Steve Atwater, and Jack Tatum.
It might have been a
Hell, even
nice
watch
hit.
that special teams hit of the year back in 2017 by Zach Follett.
Oh, my favorite hit ever is Sheldon Brown lighting up Reggie Bush on a screen pass.
Or how about the guy for the Redskins? Sean Taylor.
Sean Taylor. Any of it.
Yeah.
Anytime he hit a receiver coming across the middle.
Yeah.
Yep.
I was
Same thing for
thinking
John
the same
Lynch.
thing, Jordan.
Yep. Any John Lynch hit, whether with Denver or with Tampa Bay. Any John Lynch hit.
Yeah.
Brian Dawkins.
Johnny Lott.
Hell, even Benny Blades. Hell, Louis Dalmas. He tackled with reckless abandon for the Lions.
Hey, shit.
David
Juju
Fulcher, Cincinnati
He had a
Bengals.
bigger hit than what freaking Carr got, okay? What he put on Vontaze Burfict.
Yeah. All right. Next up, we got Seattle going to San Francisco. Anybody taking Seattle in this game?
What
34-21, San Francisco.
Seattle ain't putting up that many points.
Yeah.
They just put up 35.
That's all well and good. They're not putting that up on the 49ers.
Yeah.
That was
21's
because
not that much.
They're not putting that up on the 49ers.
San Francisco, Fensick with the Bears. Ronnie Lott, Jack Ham, Tatum, and maybe a coked up linebacker from the Giants, LT. Here's
only
one
guy
most of you don't know. Rich Tombstone Jackson. Go watch his old tape. And
Yes.
don't forget about, what was it, Al Bubba Baker for the Lions, the defensive end.
Or what about the guy for the Bears, Brian Urlacher?
Go even further back. Mike Singletary, Richard Dent,
Yeah.
Jack
Or
Lambert, Jack Ham,
Reggie
Dick
White.
Butkus, Reggie White.
Reggie White would literally throw guys.
Julius Peppers before they'd made it the No Fun League.
Mm-hmm.
And Brent DeWitt says, I would love to see Dick Butkus sack some QB today. LOL, instant ER visit.
They wouldn't be able to play, man. They couldn't afford the fines.
Hey, Brian Roy, so does Eric Hipple. He hates Mike Singletary. Singletary killed a large portion of Hipple's brain. Niners. Yeah, I don't. There's no way I was taking Seattle versus the Niners. They are completely healthy.
Yeah.
They're wrecking people. Buffalo at Kansas City. Buffalo looked. Josh Allen's starting to do his best impression of a bad Jared Goff. Who you got winning, Leonard?
Kansas City. I don't like either one of them this year. It's so bad.
I don't like either one either. I mean, because the receivers for Kansas City couldn't catch a cold in Wuhan, China. But Shannon, who you got?
Yeah, I'm going to go with KC as well.
Keegan?
I'm gonna say the way that the Pack went in and beat weren't they in Kansas City?
No, they were at Lambeau.
They were at Lambeau. I'm
Yeah.
saying the way that the Pack came in and beat the Chiefs, it didn't look too great for the Chiefs. But I think this is gonna be a bounce back game, and they come out and destroy the Bills.
Jordan?
I'm actually going to be the odd man on this one.
You are.
The Buffalo Bills fired their Matt Canada, and ever since then, Josh Allen's been playing better. I'm taking the Buffalo Bills 27-20.
Whoa. Man. Not just call Ken Dorsey Matt Canada.
He's their Matt Canada.
Man, I hope next time
I'm taking Kansas City.
Toilet paper.
27-20 Buffalo.
I got it by the exact same score. It's 27-20 Casey. But anyways, On to the next one. We got the Denver Broncos going to play the hapless Chargers. Is anybody taking the Chargers versus the way they're playing?
I'm going to say 17-14 Denver, and I'm going to predict this, that Brandon Staley's key card don't work on Monday.
I got KC because laziness, but this is not a solid field. KC cheaped out at wide receiver, and Kelsey is distracted by scoring quality ass. Love it.
I concur, James Burgess. I concur.
Yeah, I'm taking the Broncos in this one.
It's so hard to Broncos.
I think this
It's
was
a Mile High too, right?
It's in SoFi, but it might as well be in Mile High because there'll be more Broncos fans there than Chargers fans.
Yeah.
They never should have moved out of San Diego.
Never.
Yeah.
They've been ass ever since they moved there. You know what? You want to know what Justin Herbert is? He's Phillip Rivers without being a Catholic and having 10 kids.
Well, it's just like the Rams. The Rams should never have moved out of LA. They should have stayed in St. Louis.
Oh, I agree. St. Louis is still recovering from having that stadium there not being used.
Yeah.
Philadelphia at Dallas. Who you got, Leonard?
Dallas.
You're taking Dallas?
Fucking
Shannon.
Hate the Cowboys. It's hard to say, but I do.
They got Shaq Leonard now to go with Hassan Reddick. That's all I got to say. Shannon.
Yeah, I hate Dallas. I'm gonna go with Philly. I don't think it's by much, but I'm gonna take anybody that plays Dallas. Like I said earlier about the Jets, I gotta go for them. Whoever plays Dallas.
Dak Prescott MVP freaking conversation with how good he's been playing, and I hope Michael.
I don't like him either. I can't stand Dallas. Best thing about
I hope both quarterbacks get hurt this week. Yes. All right. Jordan, who you got?
It's the battle of the two best wide receivers in the NFC this year: CeeDee Lamb and AJ Brown.
Brown's year hasn't been that good though.
He has. He's on pace for almost 2,000 yards.
No, he's not.
He is top 5 this year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he is. Him and CD are both top 5.
Yeah, CD. It's a CD, AJ Brown,
Tyreek Hill,
Amon-Ra St. Brown, and Keenan Allen. That's the top 5 right now.
Yeah.
So is Tyreek Hill and everybody else. I don't care what anybody says.
Yeah, but AJ Brown's still on pace for 2,000 yards. Tyreek Hill's on pace for 2,200.
Forgot to say, hey-o.
I think the Cowboys are going to win this. I think they're playing better football right now. 27-24 Dallas.
Keegan, who you got?
You know what? Last week, Cowboys didn't look all that great in the first half. You have to play fundamental all around in 4 quarters against the Eagles. I don't think they can do that. I think Eagles are still going to win.
Did you see what the 49ers did to the Eagles last week?
Yeah, they bend them over backwards, but
that's okay.
They did that. They did do that to Dallas too. To be fair,
I would say they did the exact same thing to Dallas, wasn't it? 42-10 that game.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, it was. It was 42-10. They beat both teams by 32 points.
Yeah, they beat both pretty bad.
So, and Dallas has yet to beat a team with a winning record because even though Seattle went in with a winning record, they were at 500 when they left.
So they're basically the Dolphins of the NFC. Okay, gotcha.
They're last year's Minnesota Vikings. Get boat raced by good teams and barely beat bad teams.
Yeah, they're this year's Miami Dolphins of the NFC, pretty much.
Man, quit talking shit about the Dolphins, man.
Well, they haven't beat a good team.
Who cares if they beat a good team or not, man? They got the coolest coach in the entire world.
Yeah, I loved what Mike McDaniel said today after he was asked about being number 1 in the NFL. You know what he said? It's week 13. It doesn't mean shit.
Yep. Get stoned on the sidelines. I love it.
So I went with Philly because fuck the Cowboys.
Yeah. Well, I don't like either team. I'm with Leonard on this. I don't like either team. So.
All right.
I would hope for a tie.
We have probably the second worst team in the AFC. The Tennessee Titans are going to face Miami in Miami. on Monday night, 8:15 p.m. Who you got, Leonard?
Can I bet everything and some kids on the Dolphins?
Sure.
Whatever the fucking spread is. Dolphins are gonna whoop the shit out of them.
Shannon?
Yeah, Dolphins. 50.
Keegan?
Fins, I think they might put up another 70 burger.
Jordan?
Will Levis, baby. Come on, Mayo boy. We need you, Mayo boy. Eat your mayo on Sunday morning, and let's go.
They're playing on Monday. What's Sunday gonna
But
do?
now that you made that joke, who you taking in the game?
I'm taking the Dolphins.
That's what I thought. All right. I got the Dolphins by at least 30. It's going to be a boat race. The Titans.
It's going to be probably like how the Commanders was.
This is like taking a middle school track team and facing it against the Olympic track team. Is that not a good analogy for speed-wise?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got the violent predatory sea mammals. When they smell weak prey, they feed. Yes, the fins will feed.
No, I want to go back when some of you said
And
that.
Leonard's going to hate me, but he gets to go last this time. Keegan, Green Bay at the Giants. Who you got?
Packers.
Jordan?
I said it. I didn't really say it. I thought about this a couple weeks ago before Kansas City. I think Green Bay is going to make the playoffs this year as the 7th seed. So I'm going to go with the Packers.
Shannon?
Yeah, the Pack.
Mr. Leonard?
The smart person would say the Packers because they should beat the shit out of us. But the Giants have this habit of fucking themselves in the draft order. So the Giants are going to win by like 1 somehow.
You know, on my sheet, I said Green Bay. But you know what? One of my sponsors, who is it? It's FTP. It's not the Flores. It's fuck the Packers. Go Giants.
FTP.
You're really trusting Tommy DeVito.
So,
Hey,
you know what?
I think the guy from Mom's Basement is going to act more like Grandma's boy. Come out, get stoned, and fucking run all over him.
Well, think of it this way, too. DeVito had almost 300 yards and 3 touchdowns last week.
Yeah.
The defense has been playing lights out most of the year.
Ooh, that's a good point, James Burgess.
James Burgess says Packers win but lose 3 players to Met Turf Hell, which is season-killing loss in net. Will Vogel says the G-Men. James Burgess says, go Giants, get Sicilian on them. Yes, Tommy DeVito, he's Sicilian, all right. You can hear it in his voice. Green Bay, but I hate saying it. Fuck the Packers. I love saying fuck the Packers, but yeah, I get what you mean. And last but not least, we have the Detroit Football Lions going in to Soldier Field to make another away stadium theirs and have them be louder than the home crowd. Who you got in this one, Shannon?
Go with the Lions. Not just because I'm on your podcast.
Jordan, who you got?
As much as I like the Chicago to win for draft purposes, I think the Lions aren't going to overlook Chicago this time and get down. I think taking the Lions 34-20.
All right, Keegan.
FTB. Fuck the Bears. Lions all the way, baby.
All right, who you got, Leonard?
I got the Bears because they have no business winning this game.
They're 4-8, which means they're technically almost mathematically eliminated from the playoffs already.
Exactly. It's why they have no business winning this game, but it'll be the reason they freaking win on some.
Which technically is an improvement, which is what I said they'd do this year. Last year they went 3-14. They're already at 4-8. So they've already exceeded my expectations, but they're not getting out of the basement. The Lions win.
They damn well should.
If
Yeah.
Glenn
The one key thing that I'm going to say, and I mentioned it earlier, Hendon Hooker is playing the role of Justin Fields for our defense to practice against. And I actually, if you watched him at Tennessee, he's just about as fast as Justin Fields.
Yeah.
It's a good way to get those guys acclimated on stopping a mobile quarterback.
That was before the knee injury, though.
It will snow, shitty cold. Soldier Field will make a wild beast ass look pretty, and we kick the Bears' asses so bad they realize they need to fire everyone, which sucks because I want Everlose to stay. Wouldn't be a surprise to see the Finns and the Lions in the Super Bowl, Jeremy and panel. I think seeing the Lions in the Super Bowl this year would be a surprise with the way the defense has been too inconsistent.
Yeah.
They told us what their plan was. They told us in the offseason. Brad Holmes came out and said, this is the year we win the North. We make a splash, but that's about it. Because he didn't have the money to plug the rest of the holes the way he needed to, other than drafting.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, they're not as talented as the Eagles
or Cowboys, or even.
But I will say, if Aaron Glenn can keep his head out of his ass for an entire game, if they play defense like they did versus the Saints in the beginning, they can beat anybody.
Yeah, but let me ask you a question, JB. Do you honestly believe he knows how to do that?
I said if, not would he.
I'm just
not could he. I just said if. No, I don't think he can get out of his own stubborn, pig-headed, I think I'm a genius way like Matt Patricia.
Hey, man, we figured out why he has a job the other night, remember?
Oh. Hey, I know why Will Harris still is on the team. I figured it out, guys. This is the last time I'm going to tell this joke because I told it to Leonard. Will Harris has pictures of Aaron Glenn keeping his job with Dan Campbell. That's all I got to say.
I want to bring up the point that James says it will snow. I sure as hope to God we don't wear white.
No, absolutely wear white. Make it hard for you to see it.
It'll make us on the other end as fans watching on TV trying to find the Detroit Lions.
Hey, man, you take that advantage anytime you get that advantage.
The Lions need to wear their best jerseys they got, which is those gray ones.
Yeah.
Well, they're away. And when we're away, I hope they wear the all whites because we're undefeated in the all whites so far.
I know this isn't elementary school or nothing, but I have a question. What do the Lions fans in this chat think about the blue helmets?
Ooh. Okay, what do you guys think about the alternative helmets that they used with the gray jerseys, guys? In the chat, let us know. Brian, James, Dad, Braylon.
I'm just curious because
I know what I think. I think they're amazing. I think it looks great.
Bad myself.
I love that logo because that was a logo back when the Lions were a championship team.
Ooh, I like the idea. All blue.
And everybody says it looks like a scrawny lion. I was like, it looks like a hungry lion.
Yeah. That's why they won championships. They were hungry.
He's wearing the two-stripe logo hat right now. That's awesome, James.
There you go, James.
I almost wore that shirt tonight because I got my one that says Motor City Lions, and it shows two pistons behind that lion and the two-stripe logo down the middle.
Yeah, I really like
But I wanted to show off the reason why the Lions are so damn good on the right side of that line. Penei Sewell.
I know. Bengals could have had him, but they fucked around and found out. But oh well.
Quick question. How long has it been since Penei Sewell has been called for a holding penalty?
How long has it been since I called him out on it? Remember?
I can't remember exactly when.
It was 2 games. His last time he had a holding penalty was 2 games after Decker got back. Because he was still... He went from one side to the other, and he never looked comfortable through that 4-game stretch. The 2 games that he played left tackle and the next 2 games at right tackle. And ever since then, because I called him out, because he had so many holding penalties, that the holding penalties on the O-line, if he had 2 more, he'd have more than the rest of the whole O-line combined. He hasn't had one since that game.
All I'm going to say is Penei Sewell's worst game was against the Patriots, Matthew Judon.
Yes.
Oh, last year. Yeah. I mean...
Yeah.
That whole O-line was trash that day. Every single one of them. Oh my God, it was bad. Brian Roy, I like the black jersey so much that I actually bought a custom throwback black Hendon Hooker jersey.
Oh wow, really?
Cam, I'll send you the link right now. He wants to join us.
Sorry.
Well, it came on since Frank Wright been fired.
Yeah, well, that's not why he's upset. Link sent there, Cam.
Is there any news in the coaching carousel right now?
Say what?
Is there any news with the coaching carousel right now?
The coaching carousel? No, not really. Other than Lane Kiffin got introduced as the coach of Penn State yesterday.
Oh, they did fire what's his face?
James Franklin got fired, and Lane Kiffin is now the coach of Penn State University.
Real.
Yep.
Wow.
Fuck.
I can't believe that. I can't believe he left Ole Miss.
Man, didn't Penn State have enough scandals with Paterno and Sandusky?
They did.
Fucking Lane Kiffin.
Will it be enough? Will it be enough to beat Michigan and Ohio State next year? And also, Ohio State's quarterback, thank God for them, is transferring.
Hey, Cameron, go ahead and check your messenger. That link is sent if you want to hop in. Dan Leonard, just out of curiosity, did you happen to look at any football parlays this weekend you're interested in partaking in?
Man, the only one that I like is the Dolphins, honestly, that game. I say fucking take the over on points on the Dolphins game and pick every single one of their freaking receivers, like Hill,
Waddle.
Each go over 50.
Ricky Mostert.
Yep, take Mostert and A-Chain, both of them over 50, and freaking A-Chain to score a touchdown.
And do anytime touchdown for all of them.
Wait, hey.
Take the under in New England Pittsburgh game.
Yes. So, you know what? This was the thing that got me a couple weeks back. I was betting on college football, and I can't remember what game it was, but the total for the over-under on this game was 21 points total. The lowest over-under in college football history. So I'm like, okay, that's great. I'm going to take the over, right? They didn't even score 21 in that damn game.
So the rumors that I have heard in the coaching carousel about Jim Harbaugh is that the president of football operations for the Bears has already talked to Jim Harbaugh. Tom Brady, the reason why he's been on the sideline at every game is he's been approaching Jim Harbaugh about coming to the Raiders. And who steals Ben Johnson from us? There's a plethora of teams. Carolina, Dave Tepper already says he wants him and still going to try to push for him this year. I've heard Washington's interested in him because the Ron Rivera experiment's over. I've heard that Bill Belichick, the Chargers. I heard the Patriots.
The Falcons.
No, not the Falcons. I haven't heard that one yet.
I think the Falcons are going to keep their coach.
I think the Chargers is where he should go and find himself a good defensive coordinator.
Yeah, he is. They have a proven quarterback. He can work with Herbert.
So, Leonard, since you're on, and you weren't on when I did that show, I've heard there's some friction between Mr. Dable and Mr. Martindale. Is that true?
Oh, it's 100% true. Brian the Ball freaking.
And welcome in, Cameron. How you doing, buddy?
Could be better.
Yeah.
It's been a
since you're on, I was going to save it for the end of the show, but since you're on, all the fans in the chat say some prayers for Cameron's family. They lost their matriarch, his grandmother. So please say a prayer for him. Thank you for coming on. We appreciate you.
Yeah, I finished getting everything ready. I leave town tomorrow, so I had to get everything packed up.
I was happy you can make it. So real quick, I'm going to run through and get your picks for the games.
All right.
I got the list right here. New England at Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh.
Tampa Bay at Atlanta.
Atlanta.
Indianapolis at Cincinnati.
Indianapolis. They're too hot since he doesn't have the system going.
Yeah, but if Jake Browning plays like he did last week, I don't think Indy has a hope. But anyways, Jacksonville at Cleveland.
Cleveland.
Carolina at New Orleans.
I'm gonna say Carolina.
Wow.
Ooh.
I
Houston-
feel like with what happened this past Sunday to Derek Carr, it's gonna mess some things up. I don't think it's gonna completely derail New Orleans because they still have Taysom Hill. They still have famous Jameis with the Jameis experience. But
Yeah, 30 for 30. And I know I don't mean a Winchester rifle.
nope.
Houston at New York Jets.
Houston. I love what's going on in I love what's going on down south.
By the way, I had a debate with another fan in a Lions chat, and he's saying how Dan Campbell has the highest odds of Coach of the Year. And I made the statement, I said, if the Texans make the playoffs, you book it. DeMeco Ryans will get Coach of the Year.
Yeah.
Because
Either-
Dan Campbell and the Lions were projected to win the North and make the playoffs.
Yes.
If the Texans or Colts make it, one of the two, whoever makes it between those two, their coach will get Coach of the Year. Shane Steichen or DeMeco Ryans.
Exactly.
Here's the thing, is nobody expected the Texans to come out red hot like they are. They had a 2021 Detroit Lions season last year. What was it? They went 3-13-1, didn't they?
Yeah, the exact same thing we did in 2021.
And they are now sitting at 7-5.
Time out here. I want to point out, I 100% said the Texans are winning that division this year are going to be a good team.
I didn't have
You
them winning
did,
it.
but I didn't have them winning it. You know I didn't. I had
I had them
Jacksonville winning it.
potentially contending, but I didn't have them winning it. And now, who else in their division?
Jacksonville, Houston, Indianapolis, and the Titans. And the Titans are the one in the basement right now.
I will say their division is better than what people probably thought, though, because as good as the Texans are playing, they're still technically in third place.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But L.A. Rams at Baltimore.
Baltimore is about to drag the shit out of the Rams.
Yeah.
It's going to be ugly.
And my favorite team to say, Minnesota at Vegas.
I think the Josh Dobbs experience is over, and I think Vegas is going to come out and smash Minnesota in the mouth.
I said the same thing. Seattle at San Francisco.
San Francisco coming off dominating the number one team in the NFC like they. I don't give a fuck what Philly's record is. I did. So here's my question: San Francisco wins this weekend. Dallas beats Philly. Detroit wins. Who the hell takes the number one seed? Because now you've got a four-way deadlock.
Right now, 49ers would have it.
Yeah,
It'd be
because
based
they're
conference
undefeated.
record.
Yeah,
Because they beat. No, they got beat by Minnesota.
Yeah, but they don't
what's the
have the best. They have the
It
best
doesn't
division
matter.
record.
But
That's
that
the
doesn't
conference
matter.
record.
No, but the heads-up play versus opponents trumps that, if I remember right.
Yeah, but they haven't played each other, right?
Nope.
Right, but when I mean heads-up play versus opponents, if we sweep Minnie and the record stays the same, Detroit holds the tiebreak.
That's right.
It's conference record, right?
Yeah.
Because that would be conference, and we're all in the
Yeah.
same conference, not the same
What's
division.
Detroit's conference record right now?
We've only lost to
Seattle and Green Bay.
So 2 losses.
Yep.
And then
the rest.
Philly lost to who? Kansas City? Didn't they lose it? Or no, they beat Kansas City. They lost to
Jets
Jets.
and
Jets and the 49ers.
So they got 1 conference loss. So right now they would be 2 if they lost to
Right.
Dallas.
I'm talking about, but San Francisco in their 3 losses, 2 of them were NFC conference.
Because they lost to Cincinnati.
You sure?
Yeah, they lost to Cincinnati.
They lost to Cincinnati, which is AFC, and the Browns were AFC. Their one NFC loss was Minnesota.
Okay, so yeah.
So San Francisco would be number 1 seed if there's a 3-way tie with 3 losses.
Oh, it'll be a 4-way deadlock.
Who's the 4th team?
Philly's still in that conversation, so it'd be Philly, Dallas.
Dallas has 3 losses? I thought they had 4.
Dallas has 3 right now.
Oh, I thought they had 4.
Ravens have the worst team?
Dallas.
I didn't know Dallas had 3 losses. I thought they had 4.
Have the same record.
Here's the thing. If Dallas doesn't boat race Philly, they won't win the division.
Nope.
So that won't matter.
Yep.
Well,
They have
yeah,
to boat race them. They have to boat race them. If it's a close game and it comes down to a field goal, it's a coin flip at the end of the year.
Well, it depends on
in their
division
division.
record because
No,
they
I'm
split.
saying, but I'm just saying if they split because it'll be the same division record.
Well, yeah, I mean if they
It'll
don't
be
fuck
it'll
up,
be a coin flip for them.
Jerry
Because it's
Yeah.
a divisional
for a
thing.
one-sided coin.
yeah,
Right.
because
I'm excited to
as
see
long
it.
as Dallas or Philly don't fuck up against either the Giants or Commanders,
Because of the NFC South, one of them will be the fifth one. It won't matter if there's a 4-way tie.
Yep.
yeah,
So it'll just come down to 3.
As it
Yeah.
currently sits, the NFC North is in the exact same boat that the NFC East was in last year. We have 3 teams currently
make the
in the
playoffs.
playoffs.
No, Minnesota's out right now because the LA
Minnesota's
Rams
not
won.
going to. I don't
I'm
think
looking at it
Minnesota's
right
going to
now.
make it.
Playoff standings, Minnesota is the 6th seed.
Oh, they took the Rams out even though they won?
Yep. As far
Yeah,
as
because their conference record, I think.
let me look. Yeah, wins tiebreak over the Rams based on best win percentage in conference games.
Okay.
Divisional tiebreak was originally used to eliminate Seattle because the Rams beat Seattle.
So who's the 7th seed?
Green Bay.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's who I think is going to
Okay.
make it because their schedule's pretty easy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So anyways, Buffalo at Kansas City?
I think Kansas City bounces back.
That's what I said. Denver at LA Chargers.
The trash can?
Yeah, this is
The power button on my TV?
well, I think Denver's the better team.
Gonna be Denver.
Yeah,
Right.
Denver's in the playoffs right now, I think. They're 7th seed, I think.
I'm sorry, but when you only put up 6 points on the Patriots, you have no place in claiming to be a team.
Right. Philadelphia at Dallas. I think Philadelphia bounces back and smacks them in the mouth myself.
100%.
So if that happens, Dallas won't be even in the conversation.
Yep.
Yeah, if that happens,
right.
Philly might be the number 1 seed.
You're not taking Tennessee over Miami, are you? Okay. And Green Bay at Giants.
Green Bay. Green Bay is about to drag the dog.
Yeah, I chose Green Bay on my pickups, but I said, fuck it. Go Giants. Fuck the Packers. On the show.
Green Bay is going to drag the dog shit out of the Giants.
Hey, but wait. Now, if Tommy DeVito plays like last week and goes all Sicilian on their ass, and that defense keeps playing the way it is, they got a shot.
The Giants have a top 10 defense.
Yeah.
Or if his
top
mom and
10
dad
defense. It's not it's not the defense that's been losing games. It's been the offense not scoring, and the guy that throws the ball to the other team the most isn't throwing it right now.
Yeah.
Or if his mom and dad says you're out of the basement if you lose, he might actually play good.
Played great last week.
Yeah, they staved off his eviction for another week.
They said so long as you hold a job in the NFL. What games does that leave? That just leave, yeah.
All right, and then the last one is Detroit at Chicago.
Well, considering we have Bruce Irvin now, we have the other dude who's projected to start now on the defensive line. I can't think of his name.
What, that Tyson Alualu?
Yeah.
I don't know if he'll start because he's been on the bench all year. I don't know if he's in game shape. I think they're going to have to use Bugs with Aleem being out. And they're also probably going to have to use Broderick because we all know Levi Onwuzurike has been ass when he's been in the game.
Well, can't Kaminsky play inside too?
Yeah, but not in a 4-2. You know, when we did that modified defense at the middle of the year last year, we did less 4-man fronts and more 5-man and 3-man fronts than we did 4-man fronts. And that's when they were bouncing Kaminsky in and out and they were using everybody all over the place.
So what happened with Bugs and Glenn?
What happened with Bugs and Glenn, and it was right at, you remember, he hasn't played since before the Ravens game.
Yeah. He played like week 3, week 4.
They healthy scratched him because Levi Onwuzurike got healthy. And they healthy scratched Charles Harris because Josh Pascal got healthy. And he got in Glenn's face about the healthy scratches because how are you going to disrupt the chemistry of the D-line when it played like ass until I started playing, And then you take our defensive captain and scratch him for a guy that's barely played.
Yeah, no, I would 100% be in the same boat.
All right, and I understand he was exactly right on what he said, but
It was
not
how
how he was right, and how he went about it was wrong.
Yeah, because even
So
then, at the
this
end
is
of the day,
this is Bugs' last year in Detroit, unfortunately, over that. Yep, Bugs was to me and less team, but he was defending a teammate at the time.
Yeah.
So defending a teammate as well as himself shows he was a team player.
Bugs, now, here's the thing, is because a lot of people still overlooked this, but last year when that player only meeting was hosted, the one who called that meeting was Bugs.
Right. The one where we started doing the defensive change last year and getting better.
After we fired AP, Bugs called a defensive play or a players only meeting.
Yep.
And got the defense right and said, hey, look, we need to do our jobs. Bugs is a team player.
But I would love to see, with Bugs being the better of the 300-pounders that's a vet on the team versus Burrito Jones, who gets wrapped up in one-on-ones like a hot tortilla. I would love to see Broderick Martin and Bugs play side by side. You got 340 pounds of beefcake on one side and 320 on the other. Woo! That's a lot of beef coming through the middle of an O-line.
One of my buddies just threw this week in our free fantasy league so I can make playoffs.
Okay. Leonard tried to say something there. What was that? Dan?
That's only really good for stopping your run, though. You guys don't run a 3-4, so having two guys that big that are basically nose tackles make no sense to have them both on the line.
Broderick Martin didn't just play nose tackle, though. He only played nose tackle for 18 games in his entire college career. He played 2.5 years for Northern Alabama Community College, where he actually played D-end and DT too.
That's all well and good. That's not pros. And with that size, you're a nose tackle. You're just a space eater. That's what you are. You don't have many guys that are that big that can actually get to the quarterback. Their job is just to basically let your linebackers fucking feast.
Okay. So while we had Aleem and Burrito Jones in the middle versus the Bears last time, Khalil Herbert was running over Burrito Jones and through the middle of that O-line and getting 4 or 5 yards when he hasn't averaged but 2.8 all season.
Dude, that's because Burrito Jones is a fucking joke.
So if you're playing the Bears, wouldn't it behoove you to have run stoppers to keep Khalil Herbert from doing that?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. When I said something that makes sense, you were like, "Fuck!" I heard the pause. I heard the pause.
It makes sense to try to stop that. I'd rather run into a freaking like a dime or something like that, get a fifth D-back on the field to stop Justin Fields from getting out of the pocket.
Well, then that's the good thing that they're doing this week. They're using Hendon Hooker on the practice squad to emulate Justin Fields.
Your streetwalker is not as fast as Justin Fields. I'm sorry. I love that guy's name so much.
Hey, all I know is next year we better find either a tight end or a wide receiver with the last name to blow.
Yeah.
Or
Hooker
running
to
back.
blow goes deep.
So, like, honestly, I wish Jared Goff would have really sucked this year so the freaking crowd would have been screaming, "We want Hooker."
Oh, God, that'd be hilarious. I'm sorry.
I mean, it will be the same thing when we went against the Saints and they wanted Taysom Hill.
I just want it because then the headline will read when the Super Bowl's won in Detroit with Hooker and a wide receiver named Blow. It'll be the exact same as the title of that children's book I saw at the library. Hookers and Blow saves Christmas.
You'll say Hookers and Blow saves Detroit.
Precisely.
That would be really fitting for Detroit, wouldn't it?
It would, wouldn't it? Wouldn't that be fucking hilarious?
Well, I officially have my first ever Sunday night football tickets.
Oh, which one you going to?
Detroit, Dallas.
It's actually a Saturday night.
Yeah.
Oh, it is.
Yeah. And they're doing it on Saturday night because they didn't want to disrupt the holiday of New Year's. So they didn't want to do it on January 1st. So we're playing it on December 30th. It's a Saturday night. But congratulations. Go there. Have fun.
I live
Check
41
the
minutes from
It's
18
Saturday
to
now,
30.
please.
You think they'll allow this in the building? Someone might have a problem. It's not LBD.
Question to all. Horrible thought, but Goff breaks a tibia. Train up Hendon ASAP to start, or full Teddy till he's healed. I would go with Teddy.
I would go Teddy. Teddy has at
He
least
has
some
NFL
potential.
experience, and he's been a starter. He did really well, if you remember right, in New Orleans when Drew Brees went down. He went 5-1.
Yep.
Not to get off topic, but what were you saying earlier about Dayball and what's the coordinator?
Wink Martindale, the DC.
Yeah, I did he finish that?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
They got a lot of friction going on. That's all I know.
There's a lot of friction going on there. Brian DeBall's being crazy hard on all the defensive side of the ball, saying they're not playing good enough. Well, they're the ones keeping them in the games, and the offense is sucking.
Right.
And he keeps trying to demand more out of them, and just talk to them like they're pieces of shit and curses at them all the time.
Hey, Dan.
What's up?
What is the odds of Dayball out after this year?
0. Joe Shelman loves him. Our GM loves him.
But odds are Wink Martindale won't be along for long if that's the case.
Yeah, I don't think he'll be hot seat until next year.
I don't think he will. He'd get at least 2 years after this year because they haven't drafted their quarterback yet.
Yeah, because they just made the playoffs last year, so they're not going to fire their coach after 1 year of making the playoffs.
But yeah, he probably gets a little bit of
And
leeway.
James Burgess says Daboll is insane if he's actually bitching at his defense. You know, it's insane to bitch at your D anyways, because then it goes Joe Flacid.
I mean, the Giants really don't. I mean, if their defense is playing good, I can only tell you most of their names on defense. I know Dexter Lawrence is pretty good, but
Kayvon Thibodeau.
Who's playing here?
Wasn't Dayball the OC with the Bills?
Lo and behold, everybody's saying about how good he's doing, but he is playing more outside linebacker than hand in the dirt defensive end. They moved him there because he's been more affected. Am I not wrong, Leonard?
No, you're right.
Yeah, I know Dexter Lawrence is pretty good. Their defensive tackle.
They've actually got Aziz Olare, right?
Yep, he's back finally.
So with Dayball,
I hate bitching at my D because I don't like it to hang.
Do they still got Blake Martinez over there?
No, Blake Martinez has been out of the league for like 3 years because he wanted to go.
Blake Martinez retired last year as
a free agent. He was there for a while. I couldn't tell you any of their questions.
Blake Martinez retired so he could go sell Pokemon cards.
You know what, Donkey Kong?
He came out of retirement.
Okay.
Yeah,
Blake Martinez. Yeah, he came back because he got caught in a scandal with Pokemon cards.
Oh, man. But anyways, Donkey Kong, did y'all run through your projections through the next 5 games? No, I have not. Because you know what? I focus one game at a time, just like this team.
Martinez is with the Steelers.
+2 to Jeremy, and then extra +1 for the timing. Bum.
I'm gonna say I couldn't tell you any of their secondary players for New York.
The secondary, you have
Bannock,
Xavier McKinney, Deontay Banks, Andre Adoree Jackson. I'm sorry, Trey Hawkins, and Darnay Holmes.
I forgot you guys. I forgot you guys traded for Adoree Jackson a few years ago.
Yep, and we got Isaiah Simmons too from the Cardinals for a 7th round pick, and sometimes he plays linebacker, sometimes he plays in the secondary. It all depends.
So I know this is
Banks been pretty good,
dude. He's been great.
Would you guys mind if I do my quick impression of Tommy DeVito?
Oh my gosh!
Hey, Mom, I'm in the basement. I need some meatloaf. Just kidding, Mom.
You know, everybody gives that guy all that shit because he lives at home. But you know what? We moved out of New Jersey, 17 years ago. And at that time, we had a 2-bedroom place out there that we were renting. Just a 2-bedroom, like, little townhouse for $2,300 a month. So imagine what that is 17 years later.
Burgess, if you need to replace your keyboard, I will gladly pay half, buddy. I made when I did the joke about bitching at your D and it going flaccid. I made him spit his RC Cola into his keyboard.
Yeah, but the thing is, why'd you live in his mom's basement? He knows he makes more than his mom.
He really doesn't, though. Dude,
No, you don't understand. He was on the practice squad. That means you're like $150,000 a year as a practice squad guy.
Yeah.
Really?
You make garbage on the practice squad.
Yeah, but he's on the active roster now, right?
Right.
So
he's making a vet minimum of $750,000 a year. So he finally makes a check bigger than his mom's yearly salary.
That's what I'm saying, because he's on the active roster. Now,
Right.
I get what you're saying before. Yeah, if he was on the practice squad.
Except that his parents are both fucking loaded.
Well, then that's another story.
So
I
I
have
know
to say,
this is a bit off topic from NFL, but what is everyone's opinion on the 4 teams in the college football playoffs?
Okay, where they got it wrong, an undefeated conference winner in a Power 5 conference didn't make it to the playoffs.
Yeah.
Where they got it right was if you take FSU right now with their third string quarterback and face them against any of the 4 teams in there, are they winning?
no.
Texas beat Bama. Bama beat Georgia, which is why Bama deserved to be in. Michigan has dog walked just about everybody.
Oh. Donkey Kong thinks the Bears are going to beat the Lions 35-20. Mark Malik.
It'll matter.
For shine.
It don't
I
matter.
wouldn't be surprised if it. Here's the
It's
thing.
rare for SEC team to win it all anyway. So Alabama's going to win it all.
At this point, I wouldn't be surprised given the fact that our defense is like Swiss cheese. However, let's look at last year because I used this analogy last year, or with one of my buddies regarding last year. Last year, we won by 1 point in a fourth quarter comeback. We were down by 14 and we won by 1. This year, we were down by 12 until the last 3 minutes and won by 5.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's by more than 5. I could be wrong. Either way, last year, the second matchup, we kicked the dog shit out of them. What was it, like 41-10?
Yeah.
And wasn't that at Soldier Field, or was the first game at Soldier Field last year?
Oh, I'd have to look.
And Hutch had a pick against Fields.
Who has a pick against Fields? Oh, yeah, we did. We had a pick 6 on him.
Hutchinson.
Jeff Okudah got a pick 6 against him, and Hutchinson got a pick.
Honestly, I miss Okudah.
Mm-hmm. I missed the way he played the first 7 games before we switched to defense, and then it was after that I didn't miss him at all.
How's Sutton been for you guys?
Up and down. It really depends on the front 7 pressure. When we're blitzing and get pressure on the front 7, he's been pretty damn good.
The fact that Brian Branch had the exact same pick this past week that he did.
He is the deflection interception king this year.
Okay, so we beat them 41-10 at Ford Field in Detroit.
Yep.
We beat them 31-30 at Soldier Field in Chicago.
Right. And I had somebody bring up the fact that, over his career, Jared Goff, when the temperature's been under 40, he only has a 38.3
they brought that up last week
rating.
before we played.
I said, wait a minute. I said, wait a minute. What about last year at Lambeau when it was 20 degrees and he had a 101 passer rating?
It don't matter. Just give the ball. Just give the ball to David Montgomery 20 times against his old team,
and another 15 to Jahmyr Gibbs.
That was what was thrown my way. Was Jared Goff has never performed well in cold weather, and I'm like, this is gonna be the one. And sure enough, they went in and beat Green Bay in Green Bay.
Exactly.
What was the other one? Shit. So here's the thing. Here, where we currently stand, we have to beat, because we've already started the combination of 4. Mm-hmm. Chicago and Minnesota couldn't fall any further. However, if we beat Chicago this week, I'm pretty sure that eliminates Chicago completely.
Yeah.
Because we've swept them. Then we've got the Broncos. Which, by the way, we're the only team in the NFC North that swept the South.
Yep. Well, I think we're the only team in the NFC period that swept the South so far. Yeah.
Maybe. Which AFC division did they play?
AFC division.
West.
If we beat the Broncos, we sweep the West.
Yeah, I know that. I'm saying which AFC division did the South play?
Oh God, who knows?
The NFC South played. Yeah. They play the AFC West, or not the AFC West, the AFC South.
AFC South consists of which team?
Like Colts, Texans, Jaguars.
Okay,
yeah. Because the reason I know that is because the Bengals division plays the Patriots division plays the West, or not the West, the East, and then the Bengals division plays the West.
Yeah.
And then you just said your division played the AFC West, so that means they have to play that.
Yeah, if we beat the Broncos,
NFC North, AFC South, and their 17th game will be against AFC East opponent.
Huh. Look at this shit. KB, did you hear about the former employee for the Jaguars that apparently embezzled $22 million?
Yeah,
I heard
saw
about that.
earlier.
There was a comment that said that's why they couldn't get a cart to help Lawrence off the field.
Right.
That's crazy. So if we beat the Broncos and the Vikings, if we beat the Bears, Broncos, and Vikings, we lock up the North.
It's any combination of three. It's not just wins.
I thought it was 4.
No, we won one already, though.
Okay.
We won one already.
So we got 3 left.
We got 3 left. But if Green Bay loses to the Giants and Minnesota loses the Raiders, then we only need one more win after that.
Yeah.
When Green Bay loses.
Green Bay losing to New York, you guys are smoking too much weed.
Yeah, that's kind of like I hate the Packers as much as the next guy, but I'm sorry, the Giants aren't.
Logically, the reason the Giants win is because it's going to screw up our draft pick. That's why.
The guy that embezzled from the Jaguars, if they put that guy in a local prison in Florida, well, I'd hate to be his anus.
The fact that they haven't the first playoff elimination was announced. So far, only one team has been eliminated from playoff contention.
Panthers.
The Carolina Panthers.
Wait, really? The Patriots can still make it?
But technicality,
mathematically, you have the same chance that the Lions had when we had Matt Patricia facing the Texans on Thanksgiving.
How the fuck can we make it? We're 2-10.
Your division is
your division.
No, Miami already has 9 wins. We can't even win 9. We can't even win 9 games. It makes no sense.
If Buffalo and the Jets lose out and y'all win out, y'all have the same record as as Buffalo.
Yeah, but we're still second in our division because Miami already has 9 wins.
But there's a chance that the people in second in another division could have less than you.
Yep.
That's like the NFC.
Guess who that is? Guess who that is?
NFC North currently has 3 teams in the playoffs.
Yep.
But they're one loss or one win away from being that changed. Do you know what I mean?
I don't see that can happen, though, because the Colts already got 7 wins, and they got the head-to-head over us.
It's the Titans. If you guys win out and the Titans lose out, they go below you.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, for playoffs, you're saying we can make it technically, but...
Yeah, because of that. Like what I just said. If everybody in the NFC South, other than the Jaguars, lose out, or AFC South, and you win out, you could get in.
No, we couldn't because the Colts beat us head-to-head, and they already got 7 wins.
The most we can.
Yeah, but the Texans already.
Look how bad the AFC West.
How many wins do the Texans got? 7.
Texans are 7-5.
That's what I'm saying. They're already gonna.
Cleveland could lose out.
Cleveland got how many? Cleveland, how many? They got 7.
Cleveland and Pittsburgh are both 7-5.
So there's like 4 or 5, 7 and 5 teams.
Also, let it be known that mathematically the NFC is better than the AFC.
Yeah, I thought
This
we were
is going to be an
mathematically out.
NFC ring this year.
Well, I think we'll be mathematically out tomorrow then.
Oh yeah, no. By Sunday, y'all are eliminated from playoffs. Y'all are done Sunday.
We'll be out in about this time tomorrow because we play Pittsburgh tomorrow.
Oh, y'all play Saturday?
No, tomorrow. Tomorrow night.
Oh, Thursday. Okay.
We're the Amazon Prime Jeff Bezos game.
Sorry, my brain's.
I just realized there's 2 Monday night games.
I'm sitting here thinking it's Friday.
There's 2 Monday night games.
The Packers and Giants.
Tennessee at Miami, and then Packers at Giants.
I love when
Really?
be 2 Monday
One's
nights.
on ESPN, one's on ABC, and then both are being simulcast on the Manning Cast on ESPN2 or the Ocho.
When do the Saturday games start?
Next weekend.
Yeah.
Well, is it?
The Saturday game is on Christmas weekend and also on New Year's weekend.
There's
Just because of the holidays.
There's 3 Saturday games next week.
Because Christmas, I think, is on a Monday, right?
Detroit, Denver, Minnesota, Cincy, and Pittsburgh, Indianapolis are all next Saturday.
Oh, okay.
We have the Saturday night game.
Mm-hmm.
And then, I got into it with someone. Make this make sense to me. Because I was told that our win over Kansas City was a fluke. Regardless of if Kadarius Stonehand Tony's got the ball or not, a win's a win. There's no asterisk there.
Right.
Then we lose to Green Bay. Keep in mind, I live in Dallas Cowgirls country, unfortunately. We lose to Green Bay on Thanksgiving Day. I get clowned because we lost to a bad team. The same team who a week later turned around and beat the defending Super Bowl champs.
Right.
And who has been on a hot streak and just demolishing everybody that's rolled through. So I asked him, Jeremy, you're going to have to buy him a new key.
Yeah, I know. I made him laugh so hard. Did you hear the comment that I made?
About bitching at your D.
Makes it go Joe Flaccid. That's what I said.
But the Packers, over the last several games, have started to gel.
Right.
Because they've been on a tear. They beat the Chiefs, they beat us, they beat the Chargers. They had lost to the Steelers. They beat the Rams. So they were like 5-1 over their last 6 games.
I know.
They're pulling what we pulled last year.
Yeah.
But guess what? Aren't we 5-1 in our last 6 games? Or are we 4-2? Raiders, Chargers, Bears, Packers, Saints. Oh, and before that
we're 4-2 because
the Ravens. The Ravens game is still in there. Yeah, but still, that's still not horrible.
Nope.
And losing to a team that started playing better at midseason while we were gassed after playing 3 games in 10 days.
Let's also not overlook the fact that Matt LaFleur is undefeated in the month of December.
Yeah, but that was Thanksgiving Day.
Yeah, it was still November. Dude, the real reason the Lions lost that game is because I needed them to literally close out 6 different parlays by winning that game.
So what I'm hearing is we're all jumping Dan. Because it's Dan's fault they lost.
I'll take my ass.
Dan.
Dan said, I'll take my ass whooping.
He just punched Dan.
Fuck you for betting on the Lions on Thanksgiving. You made this mistake once before.
Yeah, but that one was so much.
This mistake before?
Oh, that mistake, man. I bet on every single game, and I was hitting all the spreads. The only game I didn't win was the Lions-Vikings game that week, and it screwed me out of like $130,000.
So I like what James said here. I'm actually ordering a T-shirt that says "My head coach can kick your head coach's ass."
Yes.
I'm just saying, you don't see any other NFL coaches around the league, at least as far as I've seen, doing up-downs with their players in preseason.
The only coach that would have a shot, possibly physique-wise, of beating Dan Campbell is Robert Salah.
Yeah, Salah.
DeMeco Ryans.
And DeMeco Ryans, okay. Well, DeMeco Ryans, I don't know. I never seen him in the tight-fit shirts like you see Dan Campbell and Salah in.
+3, I want that T-shirt.
I want that belt.
I have a custom airbrush Detroit Lions hoodie. I just gotta get it washed.
And for everybody's information, yes, that is the actual NFLshop.com $600 World Wrestling Federation Detroit Lions belt.
Yeah.
That's the
I'm not
real
proud of
one.
it. My bank account was not happy with it, but
But
it
you were.
looks good on my shoulder.
It looks
It'll
great.
look good around my waist walking out at AT&T Stadium too.
You print them, I buy one 100%. I'll get started. I got a printer here in Saginaw.
I was gonna say I can get a Cricut.
No, I got a guy that does that stuff. He's got the Cricut.
Oh, the t-shirts?
Yeah, he does t-shirts.
So you can get the belt on either the NFL shop or the WWE shop. Either
Right.
one. I think with the WWE shop.
Donkey Kong goes, "Where'd you get that belt?"
I could put you in touch with the guy who'll do the belts for $200.
I went and
Really?
I got into a cage match with Matt LaFleur, and he didn't win. That's how I got it.
Okay. Everybody get a hold of Leonard on Facebook. He's got the link.
Guy's name is actually Derek Chavez. He's an Eagles fan, but him and his dad make belts.
That's cool.
Oh,
I
this
can get one.
motherfucker's heavy.
Yeah, but if they make the belts, I bet you it's just about as good a quality as that.
It is.
I would want it to look like the World Boxing Federation Super Heavyweight Championship belt. That's the one I'd want it to look like. Actually, like the one from Rocky. That last one Apollo Creed got.
Yes.
You like that idea too, don't you, Leonard?
I do.
Oh, how those
Man, everybody and their mother is screaming for Dominic Sue to come back to Detroit.
I wouldn't mind it.
Watch.
He's gonna go to San Francisco.
He's gonna go to Philly because somehow they always get everybody good.
No, he's going to San Francisco this year.
Did they announce the Pro Bowl roster or something?
No.
Well, they announced that Reeves Maben made the Pro Bowl
As a special team player.
Oh,
I don't care. I liked what Chad Johnson said. Freaking
Subtitle it: Rowdy Righty Piper approves this message.
Baby, you see what Ocho Cinco said about the Pro Bowl? They should do the Pro Bowl game, the new guys versus the old Pro Bowlers. And then Brady came out and commented, "Give me Ocho and Randy Moss on the outside. We'll put up 35 tomorrow."
Yeah.
That would be a fun game, watching new guys versus the old guys.
they would. But make it a real game.
But I want to see the old Pro Bowl in the way it was originally set to be done.
Yeah.
You take the best of everybody in the NFL and you make them play the winner of the Super Bowl. Oh, come on. And they make it so all 70, back then it was a 70-man roster was available. In other words, your practice squad and your active roster, everybody got to play in it. And you got to put the best 70 players from the NFL on the other team.
Top 2 offensive lines have been officially ranked in the NFL by PFF.
Let me guess. It isn't Detroit.
Number 1.
We're number 1?
Philadelphia Eagles. No.
Oh, Philadelphia Eagles.
Philadelphia Eagles.
Number 2?
The Detroit Lions.
Oh!
Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo.
Even as bad as they've been the last 3 weeks, people, you hear it?
You heard it.
Number 2.
So we are the.
Ooh, there you go. You want to see a game old Pro Bowl style with this caveat: $10 million a guy for the winning team, $500K for the losing team. Want to see a game be played?
I like that.
I like that.
I guarantee you, nobody's playing to lose that game.
Fuck no.
If you're going to get a $9.5 million pay cut, ooh, ooh.
I like that.
Elon Musk approves this message.
It needed the fun. The NFL wouldn't take that kind of freaking loss in revenue.
No, but I could see him doing something like $2 million to the winning team per guy,
Yeah.
and $250,000 per guy.
So Bruce
On the
Irvin was
losing team.
also. Bruce Irvin was injured.
What?
Bruce Irvin was injured on his sack.
They also said he's playing this week. More
yes,
snaps.
he has a minor ankle sprain. Happened on a sack. He expects to return to practice tomorrow and play Sunday.
Yeah.
He also got drug tested today.
Oh, boy.
They drug tested him.
You know what else I think they need to do? Bring back the old punt, pass, and kick competition.
Oh, yeah. I see a lot of those on TikTok, and they're...
By the way, I do guys got to show you guys one other one I got. I think Keegan might have saw the picture, but I don't know. Have you guys ever bought the Mega Blaster box for the hobby of collecting cards through Panini?
Yep.
That is the hyper hologram of Jack Campbell rookie card.
Oh, yeah, I did see that.
Cameron.
Oh, hell yeah.
That plus this was in the first pack I opened out of that blaster box. A Clinton Portis on the rarest hologram they have this year.
That's almost as cool as that I'm on Ross St. Brown. I have JB.
Want to trade?
Fuck no. They're fucking Redskins. You're out of your mind. The only Redskin ever would be in my house would be Sean Taylor.
Yeah, James Burgess says that is fucking cool. Where do I get one? I actually bought that box. It's a $55 box at Walmart.
Really?
And literally, that $55 box, all of these hologram ones, whether it's a regular card or other, are valued 100 times better than the average card.
Right, so you can get a box worth of 55, then one.
Is Anzalone back for Sunday? He returned to practice today.
So yeah, he'll be back. And yes, Keegan, you could buy a box for $55, and depending on how lucky you are, you can pull a freaking couple $100,000 card out of it.
Dang.
Right, and like this card here is automatically a $75 card. That is the Christian McCaffrey in a regular gold hologram.
Mm-hmm. Like last year, I bought
these three cards right here might have paid for every single box or pack I've bought this season so far.
Mm-hmm. Like last year, man, I bought a $65 box. It only had freaking 10 cards in it, mind you, at that time, though, the one I bought. But I pulled a 101 Trevor Lawrence that sold for over $350.
Right. I'm just saying, just my hologram cards alone and who they are, I got a DK Metcalf. That Laporta card will be worth 5 years of mortgage payments soon enough. That was actually a Jack Campbell.
On that note, I'm going to go spend some time with the wife before we roll out in the morning.
Yeah, and hey, have a rest well. Hugs and prayers to your family, my man.
It's rough, so I'll catch y'all later. I won't be here Friday, but I should be here for the next podcast. What, Monday, Wednesday?
Monday is going to be the post-game show.
Yeah, I'll be here for that one.
About the same time, 9-10 o'clock at night is what I do. I like doing it later. There's not a lot of podcasters that do the primetime thing for the Lions. Yeah. And that's why I do this time slot.
Mm-hmm.
Makes sense.
And I love interacting with the fans. My post-game show, usually I do it solo. But Cam, if you want to be on it with what you've gone through so you can give your take on the game, that I'll let you be on.
All right. I appreciate it. Yep. I'll catch y'all later.
Have a good weekend, my friend.
You too.
And go Lions.
Yep.
All right. That being said, it is time for me to give homage to the people that pay the bills. My first sponsor, Gloss Negron, the window tinner out of Saginaw. Call him up. Make your appointment. One of the best in the city. As a matter of fact, he was voted the best out of the top 100 tinners that are in Saginaw. He does excellent work, like on this Maserati SUV here, and also this 300 C-Class. I was there when he did that one. Check him out. Also, homage to my other sponsor, which is what? FTP. What's that stand for, guys?
Fuck the Packers.
That's right. And go Lions. Try every day to be a better person than you were the day before, because that's the only way to make the world a better place. It starts in here. Much love to everybody in the chat. James Burgess, Donkey Kong, Brian Three Cushion, Smoking Dad Ken Balrick, and Braylon Dennis, all of y'all. Thank you for hopping in and watching. It's been amazing, and have a great